How you doing, man?
Yeah, good man. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Been a busy, mad week as always. So it's nice to just sort of take some time to just calm and come and talk to some positive vibes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me on.
Mate, it's a pleasure. It's always an honour for us to have such creative people come and join us and talk to us at Crow's Nest. And we want to share, your vibes, and you're massively into the same things as we are, with just sharing that positivity through the industry, through our creativity.
Yeah.
We're blessed, aren't we, though? We've got a beautiful job. It kind of comes hand in hand with our job, really, making people feel good.
All those lockdown routes and the long hair and people. The phone calls during lockdown and emails and messages that we were getting from people just distraught with their appearance, didn't want to look in the mirror, didn't want to go out, and we're lucky to be able to change people's perceptions and moods
Yeah.
by what we do. So I started at 21. I was a footballer. I was at Aston Villa for my youth, and got a bad injury. I went off to university, took a year out, and then I left uni at 21, started hairdressing at 21. I did night school, so I put myself through night school. I was working 3 jobs as well, and it's just something that I always knew I wanted to do. But for me back then, the stereotypical hairdresser wasn't me. Right. It wasn't do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a Jack the Lad or anything like that. It was very Nicky Clark, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's like the long hair and everything. And I couldn't find anybody until Lee Stafford, Paul Merritt, AD Phelan, all them come on the scene, where I thought, oh, actually, I fit in. And yeah, Lee Stafford's been it was a massive inspiration, still is.
Yeah.
And to be able to work with him now is unbelievable. But that's how it started, really. Night school progressed. I started house of hair with my parents' garage. I got picked up. Yeah, got picked up by a local salon to start as a graduate stylist. And within 14 months, I was managing it. And then I think 2 years later, I bought it. And Paul Watts Hairdressing was born, to be honest. That's it. It's so translatable, and it's so, like, we can do it anywhere. We can literally do what we do anywhere in the world at any time. And I think that's what, some people, like busman's holiday sort of thing, we can just work and work and work. But I think that's what's so magical about it, so encapsulating for people and inspiring for people, where they see that you can do session work, you can do movies, you can work in salon, you can just do it everywhere.
Yeah. I was looking at your resume. The girl sent over your complete resume. I came across you with the it was a Vogue feature, wasn't it? You were
Glamour.
Glamour, that was it. Yeah, I knew it was a Condé Nast one.
I wish it was Vogue.
And Glamour magazine. So I came across that, and then the girl sent me your full resume, and I was like, "Well, this dude clearly never stops working." So many, like you just talked about, so many brands and things. So what is it you actually got going on at the moment?
At the moment, so I feel very lucky in the sense of last year. So I had 4 salons. I've opened 6 salons over 7 years, but I moved 2 to bigger premises. And then last year, I sold the 2 little ones.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that now, to be honest. I work abroad with Joico a hell of a lot. I was working, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'd be in Holland. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'd be in the salon. And I just couldn't get round all 4. So the decision had to be made. And I sold the 2 little ones. So I've got the 2 big ones now, Kettering and Oundle. And at the moment, planning education, YouTube. I'm trying to crack the whole YouTube thing. That's probably a big part of what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to film loads of content. I've got a studio in my Kettering salon down in the basement.
Oh, but it's the power of content creation now is so important. It's such an important part of what we do. the expression of the brand, you know, reaching new followers, engaging with your current clients. You know, it's one of the big pushes we're doing at the moment for our new service. And it's understanding that, especially from the lockdown, is so important now, because for me, we believe, you know, that's the shop window. You know, people still want that physicality and everything, but it's not so easy for people to go walking and roaming around the high streets, you know, especially where we are in London and you know, some of the other big cities. So your digital output is going to be your shop window. It's going to entice people. And also, sadly, some of the things is some clients are going to be staying away for a little bit longer. So you need to keep them engaged. So your content, there's so much pressure now to keep pushing new content, or, you know, inspiring, educational content. And there's so many levels to where you can engage clients. We've just developed a new system for delivering curated content. So we put a little library pack together each month, and then, you know, salons can sort of like buy in that, so sort of stock content, but it's fully curated with all the captions and the hashtags. So it's much easier, allowing people, because, you know, not everybody has a studio in their salon. So about these lives for me is I like, you know, meeting lots of cool industry people, but it's a new level of connection that we don't really get as much, you know, now. Like I say, because even when I'm on set, thankfully, you know, some of that work sort of started coming back and things, but literally I've even been on a set where you have a designated area now, it's all cordoned off, like that's your health and safety zone. Like you literally can't come out there unless you're going to go on set, and then when you hand, you have to like full mask, visor, you know, don't go and talk to anybody, you know, and you lose so many different levels of communication, because as a hairdresser, one of the most important skills to learn outside of working with the hair is to read between the lines, to understand what people aren't saying. You know, and that becomes a very important skill. Again, even if it's just with them talking about the hair, looking out for what they're pointing out, are they asking for short hair? Like, what's their version of short? It's like, manage all these salons then. Like, who's the business prowess behind all of that? Is that you? Have you got a business partner?
Yeah, my dad. So he had a business years ago, and then he did up my salons, so he's like jack of all trades, to be honest, and he did them all. And then it started getting busier and busier, and he was like, right, we need to like come together and work on this, because this is something quite special. And to be honest, at the beginning he was like, why do you want to be a hairdresser? Like, he didn't get it. And it's because I've never really shown any creativeness. I was never good at school, like creative arts or textiles or design. I can't draw to save my life. But it's different. This is the thing that schools don't give you. I remember trying to, my work experience week, I wanted to go into a hair salon, and they stuck me in a physiotherapy centre because I was sporty. But I wanted to try this hairdressing industry. You just don't get the chances at school to get what we do, and to experience it, because there's nothing like it. It's not until you go to college and you either realise you're no good, or it's something that you really want to progress with.
And literally, I've travelled the world, you know, with just a pair of scissors in my back pocket, done, and, you know, or I've been on photo shoots and I've been in salons, or I've been cutting hair for old ladies in the old people's home like every other weekend. You know, I'm cutting hair for homeless people. It's so rewarding. The levels. I can't even take the time to explain, because we've only got an hour. But it's like it's so important now to just talking to somebody, Joe Robertson, about this again. So what lockdown's done is created this another barrier for the younger generations to come through and be inspired. You know, coming out of college, the problems that they're going to face now coming out of college, and the level of qualification, there's going to be this massive lull in a couple of years of what's coming through. So, you know, people like us now have got this huge job in our hands to keep people inspired and aware of what, you know, what a sexy career hairdressing is. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
That's like my motto. Just like I live in the present.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's taken me best part of 40 years to understand that about life. But
Yeah.
so, but because one of the things I think is, right, it's not taught.
No, no.
You know, we're not, and even I don't just mean in the educational system. It's people don't really talk about this kind of stuff of how to not in Western culture. You know, the
No.
capitalist world. It's you know, it's not it's not an open conversation of how to stay in what not even how to, but the importance of just staying in the moment, like letting go of what will happen, and just kind of like riding with everything else, really. And I do think that's kind of where we do see a rise of all of that kind of stuff. I never think there is just one answer, but it's important to keep sharing that, isn't it? But one of the most important things and the loveliest things that I do to stay positive is write a gratitude list. Every morning, a 10-point gratitude list. And trust me, I've had to, you know, write down some really basic things just to get the 10, but it works. It works every time. And also, actually, you can really, once you get in the habit of it as well, you can pinpoint the things that are actually like turning you to the dark side. Yeah. And if you kind of think of a way to be grateful for that experience, it just flips that switch in your head. You know, I mean, I've kind of, I have a young daughter who's disabled, so it's taken me, it's only 3. But when we first, you know, so I think from 1, when we kind of found out stuff, 1 to 2, I was just angry for a very long time, you know, very resentful. Yeah. And even that, but like I can, you know, if I can write that, if that gets me in one day, I can write that into my list where I'm grateful for the extra experience that we have because of her. Yeah. It just flips it around, you know, and something as powerful as that hate, I can literally switch it around just by writing down a version of why I'm grateful for that experience. And so, yeah, I think that's a really, really cool, a really easy thing for people to do as well, that you can. What changes would you say you had to, obviously, the strict guidelines that the government brought in, how much harder did it make it for you to maintain like a good vibe in a salon?
Not too hard, really. Like, it is what it is. And I think that's the statement of the year, it is what it is. I think everybody accepted it. We just have to do what we're doing, and the energy levels. I mean, the fatigue is something else, because what you're breathing in more carbon dioxide. You've got the barriers. You have to work even harder. You can't hear over a hairdryer, 2 masks and a visor. But just like
that's
keeping.
That's a bad point. Yeah.
Yeah, but just keeping the energy up, making everyone feel really comfortable. The way we greeted people, I think that's what changed slightly. We greeted people with more of a health and safety chat in mind, to say this is what we're doing. You can see what we're doing on the stations. We're taking temperatures. I think that's what changed, and it made everyone feel really, really comfortable. So nothing service point of view, really. Obviously the screens and that, but. Yeah, we've had no negative feedback. Everyone's been really happy. So yeah, it's a place people wanted to come back to, and I think that was the difference. One
of our taglines is that motivational, inspirational, and educational. You know, everything that we do through our whole mantra, if it's our content, you know, or we're commenting on someone else's, that's what should be involved in the process, and those should be the take-home elements. Rather inspiring people, motivating them, or educating them with something. Yeah. You know, tonight we're talking about positivity, so hopefully we're motivating and inspiring people to be positive, and we're giving them tips on how to do it. So, you know, there's the educational moment. I think for me that's a real good mantra for sort of daily life, really. Definitely, yeah. What's so your YouTube channel? I mean, that's the big thing for you. Is it? That's what's next. Yeah, I mean, I hit 5K subscribers last Sunday. It's growing slowly. Lockdown again sort of stifled it with my plans for it. But yeah, I want it to become a passive income, take away some pressures,
but also a way for me to use it as a move-in portfolio. And there's a like statistic in 2022, 85% of marketing is going to be video.